आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़ आपकी आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़, की आवाज़।
Indian scientists are working relentlessly to develop a technology which can give you an early warning system to predict an earthquake, giving people time to protect themselves and their families. Meet Dr. Perumal from Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology. He's one of the several helping us avoid costly collapses.
I think I really appreciate the DST for taking this noble task to bring the scientists from lab to land. That's very exciting for us. So with this, I would like to say myself, Dr. Ramakrishna Jayankonda Perumal. Shortly, I am known as Perumal here, and I have been doing research since 2002. Prior to that, I was in Indian Bureau of Mine as an assistant mining geologist. I worked there for about 6 years. So soon after my joining to the institute, I started working on the understanding the Himalayan earthquake hazards. That's the main research I am focusing. Basically, this research dwells around to characterize the Himalayan earthquake behavior actually, and especially I am talking about the large and great earthquake which occurred in the past, and that record we can able to search along the Himalayan foothills. So what is the use of doing these studies? Basically, the number one is that we can understand what is the repeatability of these earthquakes, so that we can able to infer its recurrence interval time, and we can able to alert the administrator and policy makers that hey, there will be some great earthquake signature is seen here. Probably this earthquake will have almost of 1000 to 1500 years of recurrence interval. That means we are due for such kind of earthquake near features. So that may alert the people for to have the resilient building structures. In addition to that, these earthquake really generate the landform where we live. So it creates a beautiful landscapes. So we can understand how this mountain grows with the time. If you see the Himalayas, across the Himalayan transects, you can see different elevations starting from the, when you drive from Delhi to Dehradun, you will see different mountain ranges. So basically now the sub-Himalayan range is growing due to the earthquake. In fact, if you know that this Himalaya is growing at a altitude of 6 millimeter per year, this is what we understand from the GPS measurement. But we know that seismic accumulation, but we do not know how much strain has been released since the origin building. So when we know the strain accumulation and strain release, that's a kind of a budgeting what we do for in our day-to-day family life. So we can understand these are the some of the critical area in which the strain is not released at all. So those regions will be vulnerable for the future earthquakes. That's the nutshell about my earthquakes. Towards this, I wrote a book for the Uttarakhand Himalaya, published in Springer in 2018. Subsequently, I have been awarded the National Geoscience Award for the year 2018 and other laurels, and I had been a Boy Scout Fellow in US. I was a professor invitee in France. We should understand the repeatability of the Himalayan earthquake. Now we know that there was a recent earthquake occurred in Myanmar. That's March 28th earthquake, which produced about 7.7 magnitude, and it almost produced the surface displacement. The ground has been displaced 4 to 5 meters for about 400 kilometers. So the same such kind of earthquake occurred along the Himalayan foothills actually. The one which occurred on the Myanmar or Burma in Mandalay town or Mandalay city, that's the second largest city in Burma or Myanmar. So basically that is in a strike slip fault system, but in Himalaya it's in a thrust fault environment. So we are trying to locate the past signature of those earthquakes and try to understand when this kind of earthquake will likely to occur, whether it will going to occur on a same place or it will be in a different place. So for that matter, I think Wadia Institute is one of the pioneering institute. In fact, Wadia Institute only developed this program way back in 1998, and we have a very good contributions towards understanding the Himalayan earthquake cycle. And I think Wadia Institute is the only institute we could do trenches more than 30 places with collaborations with our own scientists as well as with National Science Foundation, United States, and as well as the with the France government, the CNRS lab, and the Ministry of Culture from the Japan. So we have done almost several trenches spanning from location place called Jorian. It is in the western part of the Himalaya, that is in Jammu Kashmir. Then we went all the way up to Pasigad in the eastern part. Even we have already done 2-3 trenches in the Naga Skopan belt in Nagaland, Kohima area region also. So essentially this will tell us where are the critical zones in which that we are likely to hit the big earthquakes in the Himalaya. Like I emphasized that the Myanmar earthquake is not surprise for us like a geological community, because we know that these places are vulnerable. That means the ongoing convergence of the Indian plate is moving at a rate of 38 to 40 millimeter, which formulate elastic strain in the upper part of the earth crust that keep on adding the strain. So that has to be released as and when the threshold limit exceeds. That leads to the earthquake of large magnitudes. So that means we were aware about those places. These are all the hotspot, but we can't say that when such kind of earthquake, the timing and location is very tricky. In fact, the time will come. Probably we may also able to predict this kind of an understanding when the earthquake exactly the things. But it's kind of a dream for us. But certainly we will do. For that matter, only the earthquake geology or paleoseismology where we are working, and we are pioneering in that also. So probably it will give more clue to understand the continental earthquake due to the Himalayan growing. Yeah, my future area of research is basically whatever the trenches we have done, it's all almost 100 kilometer spanning basically. So I would like to fill those gap, and also the eastern Himalaya is the main target, because there a lot of work is needed to be addressed actually, and we will be doing the northern part of the Indo-Burma range, because this range is directly connected with the Sunda plate, that is a tsunami we got in 2004. So that's the major area we are focusing for the next future years. The Wadia Institute started this paleoseismology way back in 99, and we are very much at par with the international scientific community, and we can say that we contributed for understanding the seismic hazard of the Himalaya, especially for the Himalayan foothill thrust. I think Wadia Institute is having at par with the international standards. And in fact, to add on that, recently our institute, in fact DST has provided a excellent contribution and funding in the form of procurement of the UAV based LIDAR, in fact, because in the eastern Himalaya the vegetation is very thick. So this is a new technology in which we can do the thickly vegetated area, especially northeastern Himalayan regions, through the LIDAR technologies, because that's basically a sub-aerial drone survey, because some of the radar data or high resolution satellite data sets, it cannot penetrate the canopies. So basically to strengthen these things, Wadia Institute has supported us for procuring this LIDAR data, and almost we have done some of the surveys in Nameri Tiger Reserves in eastern Himalaya. So we are hoping to map those fault where we believe that earthquake may occur on those regions. We will try to certainly map and document the data set very soon. Previously we all think about the Richter scale, now it is a moment magnitude, basically length into rupture length into area basically. So the great earthquake means what I'm saying, it's 8 plus magnitude in terms of Richter. You want to, it's because the mindset is always Richter. So the great earthquake in a real sense that we see the evidences of earthquake landform. That's a fault scarp on the foothills of the Himalaya. That means they are most likely of great earthquake 8 plus magnitude. Then large earthquakes come around 7 to 8 basically. Then moderate earthquake less than 7. So that's the general connotations how people will understand. That means 7.7, this especially this Myanmar earthquake, it's about 500 kilometer rupture length, it's about 7.7, but it's almost a shallow level actually. So that has broken the surface. In fact, the ground has been deformed, displaced almost 5 to 4 meters. So then you can imagine like what we did in the Uttarakhand Himalaya. We could say that the 1505 earthquake which we documented in Tanakpur near Sarda river, that it in fact it has uplifted 8 meter. So that's really a big vertical uplift basically, but the rupture length is almost 250 to 300 kilometers. So that's the documentation we have, especially in the Himalayas. So that means they're all really big event actually. We have good publications. I published almost 75 papers, including one lead authored book in Springers. And in addition to that, there are several field guidebooks and other things. And we published a paper in all reputed journals, all Q1 quality papers we have published it. And in addition to that, I have been awarded for a National Geoscience Award in 2018 by Ministry of Mines by President of India. Then Geological Society of India has given the Professor Mayer Award, and DST has conferred me a Boy Scout Fellow, and even French government CNRS has provided the Professor Invitee Fellowship in 2010 and 11. And in addition to that, we also offer services to the consultancy in the form of consultancy services. We have done for the National Hydropower Electric Corporation that Lower Subansiri 2200 megawatt project for seismic assessment. We have done that, and we have also done the consultancy for the National Highway Logistic Management Limited for construction of the ropeway that is underway, and we have also done the consultancy for a smaller startup company like for building the viaduct and other bridges. We, as and when they require, we give this kind of consultancy services to them. Yeah, the geology is very fascinating. It's a natural science. So basically, in a research, if you want to really excel, that means you need dedications. We don't want any intelligence. We need only dedications, and patience is very important. And if you have any such kind of quality out of this I have suggested you, that will take you to the Himalayan heights. With this, I thank DST for giving this opportunity. Thank you very much, sir.
This podcast series on STEM popularization is supported and catalyzed by National Council of Science and Technology, Communication, Government of India. Produced by Media for Community Foundation. Technical support is given by Soumya Mishra.